They're going to be complaining the whole time that they're just adjusting and things are different and things are hard. You're going to catch back up and you're going to start dominating people that are sleeping right now in this era. What's up, guys? My name is Steve Holbrook. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about 5 quarantine blessings, the wake-up call that we all needed. Let's be honest, most of us needed a jolt. Most of us needed a wake-up call. You know, remember that workout program that we promised that we were gonna start 90 days ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 20 years ago, right? Remember the business that we started that we've been treating like a hobby for the last 6 months? Remember that? Remember the relationship that you've been hanging on to way too long? Remember that? Yeah, this is a wake-up call. This is the jolt that we all needed. You know, life's gonna hand us situations. Life's gonna hand us circumstances. And depending on how you handle those circumstances and those situations, that will in large part determine how you live your life and, you know, how happy you live. So we're in this situation, and I'm choosing to look at it as a blessing. And I have uncovered 5 blessings to being in quarantine, and I wanna get right into it. But before I do, if you enjoyed today's episode, please share it, please comment, please like, give it some love, and send it out. All right, the first blessing of being in quarantine. You ready? It's a litmus test. It's the ultimate litmus test. It tells us exactly where we're at. Being in quarantine, being shut down, not being able to leave your house, I'll tell you what, it exposes us completely. It exposes our financial preparedness. It exposes our mental preparedness. Most of us know right now how good of a job that we've been doing in certain areas of our life. You know how well you've been doing with your fitness. You really know how well you've been doing saving money, right? And you really know how well you've been treating your relationship and your health overall. All those things. Right now is the purest test to how you've been doing. If you're in business right now and you've been thriving, that means you've been innovating. You've been doing some things already coming into this. But if you're flatlined, if you're stuck, if you feel like you don't know how to move forward, it tells you a lot about where you are in business or where you are in your life. It's a true litmus test. The second blessing of being in quarantine, realignment of priorities. Look, this is an opportunity to trim the fat. This is your opportunity to get rid of things that you were doing that weren't serving you. And if you needed an excuse to stop doing that hobby or hanging out with that person or doing that business that's really a hobby and it's not even a real business, right? If you've needed an excuse to get rid of that, now's your time. This is your opportunity to tell people in your life who you've really been trying to squeeze out for a while that now's that time, right? This is an opportunity for you to step forward. Realignment of priorities. You got to take all of your priorities, you got to write them down on a sheet of paper. Write them down, right? All your purposes, all your priorities. And I want you to just take those things and I want you to put them in your calendar. And I want you to allocate a certain amount of time to each one of those priorities in your calendar over a 7-day period. And then when we eventually get out of this situation, I want you to be very, very careful what you add back into that calendar. Be very careful. About 6 months ago, my wife and I, we just cleaned out our entire house. We purged all the old clothes. We got rid of probably 2/3 of the things in our cupboards, in our closet. We gave a lot of it away. We donated a lot of it. And man, it felt so good, right? Cleaning house. This is your opportunity to clean house and realign your priorities. The third blessing of being in quarantine. You knew it was coming. The opportunity for personal growth. Not only should you be reading and recommending a good book, but you should have the next 2 or 3 lined up. Whatever you were doing for personal growth, I'm going to challenge you to double it or triple it. And if you haven't been personally developing at all, what a great opportunity to get back on the horse. What a great opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to come out of this stronger than I've ever been. Because for most Canadians, most North Americans, most people in the world, they're going to come out of this and they're going to act dazed and confused and stumbling around and complaining about how the government check didn't come fast enough, complaining about this, complaining about that. And you have an opportunity right now, not just to come through this the same, but to come through this as a whole different person. I've been talking now for several weeks about the real tragedy is not that we're in this situation. The real tragedy would be if you came out of this situation unchanged, right? Just imagine yourself leaving your house a month or 2 or 3 from now in the best shape of your life, right? Best mental shape of your life. Just remember, This is your shot to double down on the growth. You have the time, you have the resources, you got the YouTube videos, you got the podcast, you got everything that you need. And if you need more inspiration and more mindset, I got about 30 videos that you can watch. Just go and check them out. But personal growth is super important. And it's a blessing that we have right now in quarantine because we can do more of it. What a blessing. Fourth blessing of being in quarantine. I love this one. Opportunity to catch back up. It's your opportunity to catch back up. You know, for some of you watching this video, you might have fallen behind in your field. Maybe your message is a little bit outdated. Maybe you're still using the same message and the same technology and the same delivery as the early 90s. Well, now's your chance to catch back up and get your message in 2020, right? Make sure that you're aligning yourself with the right technologies. Don't let your class graduate without you. This is your opportunity to catch somebody while they're sleeping. If you've fallen behind, outwork them, out-leverage them, out-technology them. This is your shot. This is your chance because you know the people that you're competing with for market share, they're not going to go to work like you're willing to go to work. They're not going to do it until the job gets done. They're going to tap it cool. They're going to go from 10 or 15 appointments a week down to 2 or 3. They're going to be complaining the whole time that they're just adjusting and things are different and things are hard. That's the words that are going to come out of their mouth. But you're going to be catching back up. You're going to be talking about excitement and leverage and certainty and doubling down and working when they're sleeping. You're going to get loud on social media. You're going to leverage all the technologies that we've been talking about. You're going to watch all the YouTube videos that I put out and guys like Ed Milet put out. You're going to catch back up and you're going to start dominating people that are sleeping right now in this era. And my fifth and last blessing of being in quarantine. Oh, I love this. Rewrite your long-term vision. Rewrite your long-term vision. I'm going to give you permission to get lost in possibility. Lost in the future. What a great time for reflection. What a great time to be thinking bigger than you ever have. I rewrote my entire 5-year plan. I rewrote it because I want to be more inspired and more fired up and more certain. See, these times right now that we're in, these quarantine times, these tend to stir up emotions. And when I get emotional, I get creative. And when I get creative, I start to think big. These times like this time, we've never really been in this time. But a time like this, it really helps me bunker down, get creative, and start to think bigger than I've ever thought before. And not only does it help me survive in this crisis, in this era, but it's helping me thrive through it. Start setting big goals. I call it God-sized dreams. I got that from Ed Milet. Set some God-sized dreams. Things that are so big that you just can't tell anybody because you just be afraid that they might laugh at you, right? Set some big goals and start thinking long-term. Great opportunity to get crystal clear. And if you know where you're going, it's going to pull you to it. So I appreciate you guys. These are 5 blessings that I got through the quarantine opportunity that we have right now. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what blessings you find or what's on your mind right now. So please comment below. If you like this video, like it, share it, send it some love. And as always, we're going to continue to crush some great podcasts, YouTube, and content. So please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.